They have no clue what's happening tomorrow. Us, with our insurance policies and our bank accounts and refrigerators, we're still anxious about next week. These guys have no clue what's happening in 3 hours' time. They leave in the morning, empty stomach with only one conviction. The one who provided for me yesterday will provide for me today. But there's another important point there. They leave in the early morning. Yes. Those who wake up at 12 p.m. hoping for the futuhat of Allah and the miracles of Allah to descend. Yes. The birds work hard. The animal kingdom in general, you see very hard workers. From the bees to the ants to the birds. They don't stop moving. They exhaust themselves. And then Allah provides from them in a way that they never could imagine. But for us, let's say somebody from you is seeking knowledge, ilm, with a ayn, amazing. Wake up at dhuhr time, 12 p.m. Watch a few things on the telly. Check the weather. Doom scroll on YouTube for 3 hours. Pray Asr at the end of its time. Take a nap, because why not in the middle of the day? Wake up. Just at Maghrib time, turn up to the masjid for a class. Come home and think, subhanallah, why Allah doesn't provide me ilm? La habibi. Ilm is not, there's no ilm genie waiting in the masjid for you to walk in so you can rub him and you'll get free ilm. No. Leave in the early morning. If you wake up at 4 or 5 a.m., there's nothing in the world you can't obtain. If you trust Allah in the process. Everything the Prophet ﷺ ever sought in his life, he woke up early for it. Whether it was knowledge, or closeness to Allah, or even military victory, he would always start in the early morning. That's the secret of his tawakkul. He would start before everybody starts, and then he would say, oh Allah, I've done my job, now it's your turn to show me the outcome. And therefore, when he was outnumbered in battle, when he was in a colossal state of about to be losing, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala saved him, regardless of the means. وَلَقَدْ نَصَرَكُمُ اللَّهُ بِبَدْرٍ وَأَنْتُمْ أَذِلَّةٌ. Remember when Allah saved you in Badr, when you were small in number and humiliated. How? It's not you. Allah says, it's not your efforts. You did everything you could do, but remember, I sent you angels, I sent you reinforcements, I helped you, I supported you. وَمَا النَّصْرُ إِلَّا مِنْ عِنْدِ اللَّهِ الْعَزِيزِ الْحَكِيمِ. Victory only comes from Allah, the Mighty, the Wise. So today, you have two extremes. You have Alex Hormozy and Tate and all these great vloggers on YouTube who say, hustle, hustle, work hard, sweat, tears, yes, 10K a month, all this nonsense. Yeah, you got these guys. Yeah, the hustle, let's call them the hustle group. All they want you to do is hustle. To the extent, your mom calls you, say, I gotta hustle, this is a distraction. La habibi, هذا أنت ما حصل وما حصلت. You're not going to hustle, nor are you going to reach your goal. That's one, the hustle group. There's another group, we call them the barakah group. You say, son, I think you should start working. Inshallah bil barakah. Son, when you want to get married, I'll also tell you, inshallah bil barakah. Mom, where's the food for lunch? Barakah habibi. Sit, it will appear. You think your Maryam alayhi salam, food's going to appear from somewhere? You have to work for it. You have to come in between these two, in the middle, which is you have to hustle to the best of your ability, while at the same time taking the time to stop and pause and slow down, because therein lies the barakah. The barakah is in the slow start to the morning and doing the dhikr of Allah in the morning and waking up in the last third of the night. These are things that Mr. Hormozy will never tell you, and all of his entrepreneurial ilk telling you to make money quick yesterday and work. They will not tell you that half and 3/4 and 10x of your earnings and your livelihood and your happiness and contentment in life is going to come from waking up in the last third of the night and speaking to Allah. This is a means from the many means out there. In fact, it is probably the greatest means. But whoever tries, only he will know. We talked about the way to get tawakkul. You have to know Allah as Al-Wakil. You have to interpret the events in your life, understanding that the one you trust the most is the one sending them your way. If they are not in my control, I have to submit to him and say, Allah wants me to jump into the fire, jump into the prison, jump into the sea, I will jump. And I trust him for what is coming to the outcome. The way to get tawakkul, as we mentioned, you have to work hard. You have to wake up early. You have to be ahead of your peers. In fact, Ibn al-Qayyim, rahimahullah, in Madarij Salikin, he heavily criticizes some of the ideas of the mutasawwifa, the Sufis of his age, who used to say, Tarkut tadbir. If you want to reach a stage of trusting Allah, you have to sit back and kind of leave things be. And he said, no, that's not how you get help from Allah. You have to work hard. If anybody were to get help from Allah free, it would have been the Prophet ﷺ. Then why is it before a battle he's lining up his soldiers and he's arming them and he's strategizing and he's sending scouts and intelligence and placing them and he's got this whole strategy? Why? He can just leave it. Allah will help him. No, he knows it's obligatory on me to take the means for me to earn the help of Allah. So we have to exhaust ourselves in the means. So many people, they fall short in this regard. And then the second part. Once you take the means, you have to divorce your mind and spirit and soul. This thing cannot bring me any good, and it cannot remove from me any harm. This is one of the very most difficult steps in tawakkul, is you submit an application and you say to yourself, my CV can do nothing if Allah wants otherwise. I leave it to Allah. Because you invested so much into it. You're going through the marriage process, signed up to 4 mobile apps and 3 websites and called all of your aunties and uncles and all the WhatsApp groups. Still I can't find. Are you trusting the groups and the websites, or are you trusting the one who created them? One time one of my teachers told me, he said, you know when you leave the house and you say, Bismillahi tawakkaltu ala Allah, and you lock the door of your house. He said, are you trusting the lock? Are you relying on the lock to protect the house? Because you know your whole house could be on fire and could leave just the door and the lock standing. Because sometimes we get obsessed with the tools. We get over-invested in the people. We get over-invested in the process. And then Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala shocks us. The lock doesn't work one day, someone burgles the house. The friend that you trusted, they take your money and they run away. And it's Allah sending you a message. Anytime you put too much hope and too much trust and reliance on a person or a tool, I'm going to disappoint you to realize there is only one who will never disappoint you, which is Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. One of the benefits of tawakkul, which I'm going to end this with, Ibn al-Qayyim talks about, is he talks about rida, contentment. What is contentment? Contentment is to feel happy and serene and peaceful and satisfied, no matter which way the outcome goes. You failed the exam, you passed the exam. You got rejected by the wife, accepted by the wife. Allah provided you a child, didn't provide you, miscarriage. Whichever way the outcome goes, I'm content, I'm satisfied. Why? The Prophet ﷺ says, وَارْضَ بِمَا قَسَمَ اللَّهُ لَكَ تَكُنْ أَغْنَى النَّاسِ. You want to be the richest of people? Be content with whatever Allah gave you. One of the beautiful ways he expressed this is in a hadith where he says to Ibn Abbas radiyallahu anhuma, وَعَلَمْ أَنَّمَا أَصَابَكَ لَمْ يَكُنْ لِيُخْطِئَكَ. Remember, young boy, what hit you was never meant to miss you. وَمَا أَخْطَأَكَ لَمْ يَكُنْ لِيُصِيبَكَ. What missed you was never meant to strike you. وَعَلَمْ أَنَّ النَّصْرَ مَعَ الصَّبْرِ وَالْفَرْجَ مَعَ الْكَرْبِ وَأَنَّ مَعَ الْعُسْرِ يُسْرًا. And the Prophet ﷺ would train his companions so much on this idea of rida, of contentment. But contentment doesn't mean that a person should be passive, not interested, not active, not trying. No, contentment is you tried your best, you exhausted yourself, you want ihsan, the best of the best in everything that you do, and yet, whatever Allah gives me, I'm happy. Remember Musa alayhi salam entering Madian, running away from Egypt, and as he enters Madian, he raises his hands to Allah and he says, قَالَ رَبِّ إِنِّي لِمَا أَنزَلْتَ إِلَيَّ مِنْ خَيْرٍ فَقِيرٍ. Oh Allah, whatever you give me, I'll be content with it. I'm in need of it. Think of Hajar alayhi salam, the wife of Ibrahim, when he leaves her in the desert with his son Ismail. He's walking off into the desert and she says, why did you leave us here? Allahu amaraka biha. Did Allah tell you to leave us here? He said, yes. She said, إِذَنْ لَا يُضَيِّعُنَ اللَّهِ. One of the greatest acts of worship, which is supposed to train you, your soul, to trust Allah, is when you go for Umrah or Hajj, it is the worship of Sa'i, when you run between the mountains of Safa and Marwa. This is the symbol of trusting Allah. Why? Hajar is the wife of a prophet, the mother of a prophet. She's standing in the desert, she's thirsty. You know what you and I would do, right? Uber Eats. 3 minutes. Where's my water? I ordered it. Customer service, where? Hajar is standing in the desert, no Uber Eats. She's standing there, she's thirsty. Baby's screaming. What does she do? Does she just make dua? No. She goes to the highest mountain that she can see, the tip of Mount Safa. Why does she go high up the mountain? She's trying to fly to the sky. Why is she at the top of the mountain? Sorry? Visibility. She wants the biggest view. Yes, she goes to the top of the mountain. She's trying to see, is there any water, any people, any birds? She runs to the next mountain. Does she walk? You know that green light in Mecca? Why do you sprint? She was sprinting. Why didn't she walk? Why did she run? It's my nasib, kismat. If Allah gives me water, He gives me water. I'll walk slowly, slowly. Why did she run? Why did she sweat? 52 degrees Celsius. Why is she running? Huh? There's an urgency of the grandchild. Any other ideas? Yes? Sorry? She can't see Ismail. She can't see Ismail from the ground, so she wants to get to the height. The reason Hajar alayhi salam is running is to show Allah, I have done and exhausted myself and sweated, the water has to come from you. She reaches Marwa. She stands. What does she do at the top of Marwa? What is Masnoon? What is the sunnah of the Prophet ﷺ whenever he comes to the top of one of the mountains? To make dua. So she combines between sweating and sprinting and looking for a place of high visibility and standing there and saying, oh Allah, I can't see nothing. Only you can provide for me. Now, where is she expecting the water to come from? Somewhere, some visibility line, some people, birds, something is going to show a lake in the distance. Where does the water show up? Where she least expected it. At the feet of her son. Imagine you lost your phone charger and you drove 300 miles thinking you left it in Stoke-on-Trent. You reach Stoke-on-Trent, someone calls you, yep, it was right here under your desk. La ilaha illallah. Hajar reaches the top of the mountain. The water is gushing from the feet of Ismail. It is as though Allah is saying, if you sweat and you sprint and you do everything in your possibility to look for my favors, I will provide it at your beck and call, at your feet. By the power of your tawakkul, your trust, your reliance on me, not because of how fast you ran or how high the height was, because I provide those who are beloved to me. And with this we come to the end of Manzilatul Tawakkul, the destroyer of anxiety and the reducer of depressive states. Wa sallallahu wa sallam wa barik ala nabiyyina Muhammadin wa ala alihi wa sahbihi ajma'in.